Abercrombie, the Koalition. Thank you so much for speaking to me. This show is really exciting, and your character had a huge character arc around episode 4. And so I was kind of wondering with that, we do know a couple of things. We do know that your past kind of involved you being possessed, and that led to your father, not your father, your brother being pushed out of the tree and ultimately dying. And so I was wondering, through that hallucination, your father says, redeem yourself from what you stole from me. And your brother even kind of teased, I'll catch you if you fall. Was that, you could say, his subconscious the entire time? Or does he genuinely feel that his family may know what really happened with his brother?
It wasn't his subconscious. His father, speaking with John and Kazdan, our showrunner, and like talking about the story, it's something that is very, very known within his family, which is why he feels so much shame about it, because they've made him feel ashamed by all of it. So it wasn't his subconscious. It was a almost manifestation of previous actions and words that were kind of twisted by the lich who was possessing him.
Okay. And so also we know that Graydon's body is kind of covered in all of these marks. Is there something else that the character is hiding?
Now that the scars are kind of shown, is those markings were a previous exorcism, if you will, done by someone who is much less talented than Willow, and so it's left his body really, really scarred. At least, again, this is what I've been told. And it's something that is a great point of shame for him. And he's always kind of been a little scared about it, which is why even in the first episode, he says he's really scared of dying in communal bathing, which is a joke, but also now that everyone can see his scars, they understand why.
All right. Elora knows what really happened. She was able to see in the past. Can you tease or say how this will not only just affect the friendship, but change the dynamic in the group?
Absolutely. And I think whenever you find out something about anyone that is maybe a little startling, it always kind of shifts the dynamics. The only issue here is that Graydon doesn't know that she knows, and so it kind of leads to a little bit of comedy, because at the end of the day, we are still a fun show. But it does lead them to it forces them to be closer, because Graydon, albeit is a wonderful listener and overall someone who you want to kind of have as an ear and as a sounding board, he doesn't really let anyone know anything about him. And so now that obviously someone does, he's very scared about it. And so it'll be a really fun dynamic between the two in the next couple of episodes.
Okay. What would you say Graydon ultimately wants? Is it redemption? Is it forgiveness within himself? Is it for his family?
The ability to want. At least in these first couple of episodes, he's kind of resigned his life to just doing what people tell him to do. Which is a little bit sad. And I think what he would want is the ability to kind of hope again and dream again for himself, something that he's always wanted, as opposed to what people have wanted for him. And I think that's his biggest want.
And we know that Willow did not defeat the Bamorda, sorry. But despite his lie, he's kind of proven himself worthy as a leader. But moving forward, does that revelation change the group?
Absolutely. I think there's some people who've seen him do magic and still believe, and then there's some people who feel kind of almost betrayed by it, by the things that they've heard and read, and even what he's said himself. So it definitely affects the dynamic and kind of splits us a little bit, but at the in the end, I think we figure out that he means good, and from the bottom of his heart, he means to do the right thing, regardless.
Can you tease kind of in the future episodes who Graydon kind of would rely the most on?
Who Graydon will have the most fun?
Rely the most on, like the
Oh,
either
rely.
friendship or
I think the one that he goes to for advice a bit is Borman, actually, and it was some of my favorite scenes to shoot because Amr and I just got to play, and he's extremely good at improv, and I'm adept at it as well. But we were able to kind of just play and find really, really fun moments between the two of us. And then beyond that, I think he kind of finds solace in everyone a little bit. In Willow, in Borman, and Jade and Kit, and then ultimately in Elora.
okay. And kind of going off on the improv, how much can you say has been improv so far?
Ooh, it's probably less of the words, but a lot of the physicality and things that was very much improv by kind of the entire cast. What we're doing, there's a point in episode 4 where they're eating the pigs, and we make a joke of it. And so there's sprinkles of it all over from all of us. But I think there are a lot of lines that are extremely important to the story that I think or at least they allowed us to improvise, but in the end had to keep what they wrote.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for speaking with me. I truly enjoy the series and your performance.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.